Hi, hello world. I'm Kira. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. I have recently gotten to the crazy kooky world of voice acting. I want to preface this video. I'm not like a super professional. I've only had a few gigs and been auditioning for maybe like 6 or 7 months, so I'm very early on my journey. But I thought it'd be really cool to share my journey because sometimes when I look at people's interviews or like you talk to people and they just kind of tell you about their life, you're able to get some insight on who they are and also maybe take some of the things that they did and apply it to your own life if you have similar goals.
I like the sound of that.
Pretty much, I just wanted to share my journey from the beginning to the end. Well, not the beginning to the end, we don't know where it's gonna end, but from the beginning to now, just to kind of share with you my process and kind of what I went through personally. Okay, so let's start it off. I cosplay a lot. If you don't know, now you do. It's cool to dress up as these characters, but why not actually be the character? Become one. So I decided I want to be a voice actor. But I didn't really do anything after that. I think I just had that realization and that was it. So my first actual kind of step into that realm was my friend asked me to voice one of their comedic plays. It was kind of like a stand-up mixed with like a pre-planned play kind of ordeal. It had a lot of really popular Viners at the time that were performing. So I was like, heck yes. But the only thing that kind of was like a little tricky was they wanted me to voice the character of God. So throughout this whole play, there would be a narration playing between acts at the beginning, at the end, to kind of tie the whole storyline with the whole entire play. And they envisioned God as a 40, 50-year-old Black woman. Now, when I auditioned for this, I just kind of sent them a voice memo and I just read it in my regular voice. I don't know why I thought reading it in my regular voice would be okay, but for some odd and crazy reason, above the existential plane of existence, they decided to go with me. I went into like one of their apartments, my friend's apartment, and they had a mic and everything ready. They had the script lined up on the computer. It wasn't anything like crazy and extravagant. It was very, very like DIY, which was really cool because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I never even tried to voice act in my life. And I don't think I have that great of a voice, or I never thought I did because I heard myself on voicemails and voice memos and videos. I didn't think I liked it that much, but I didn't want that to deter me away from my newfound dream. They helped direct me through and they wanted me to have a lower register. And let me tell you, I'm not good with lower register vocals. They just don't come as natural to me. I feel like I thrive more so in the high-pitched range, but I tried. I did my best. This was the voice.
Yes, it's God. I know life isn't going too well, but I can tell you that I love you.
Looking back, probably should have tried to do it another way, but I did it. When I went to the opening night, it was really cool just to hear my voice. Embarrassing, because I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do lower registers, but cool nonetheless. So after that, I decided to make my own fake demo reel. And if you don't know what a demo reel is, it's pretty much like a resume of the different voices and acting you can do voice-wise. It typically is around a minute or a minute and a half. And it's pretty much 1 to 2 lines of a whole bunch of character voices that you put in one little recording. I just kind of did this for myself to see if I did have a range or any versatility with my voice. I didn't know what to do, man. I recorded it straight from my iPhone. I don't know if I'm gonna add it to here. I can probably add a little bit of it. It's very trash.
I told you not to take Juliet's pencils. Now we're gonna get in trouble, Sebastian. You really think you can embarrass me with your sad group of lonely friends? Think again.
Dear Diary, today was awful. I had a realization of who I was, and that made me cry.
And just so you know, voice acting, like everyone will tell you, is not really about how many voices and impersonations and impressions you can do. It's really about the acting. I did not have the acting down packed then, but I just kind of wanted to see my range. Just what can I do? What can this little baby, what can this baby do for you? My whole life I just thought she was annoying, but turns out she got some skill. And after that, I was like, okay, I really kind of want to take this a little bit more seriously because it was really fun to do that. You know, it did come out not very professional, but it definitely gave me a glimpse of what I could do and what it could be and where I could go. Fast forward a little bit later. I did some research, I went online, went to the YouTubes, went to the Googles, went to the Googles again. Everyone says you should take a class, and everyone is absolutely right. So I saved up money and decided to take a class in voice acting. I think it's important to note that I personally wanted to do animation and cartoons. I feel like most people, they want to do that, but there are other niches in voice acting. So and you can do all of them. You can do one, you can do two, you can, it's up to you. But there's commercial, there's narration, etc. And I feel like those are the ones we hear all the time, but we don't really kind of recognize that someone's getting paid to do that. I decided that I was going to take a fundamental commercial / narration voice acting class instead of going straight to animation. I thought it probably would be best if I kind of just learned kind of like the basics and not kind of just dive right in. I mean, I'm sure people do dive right in, but I thought for my personal journey that I did want to learn the other side as well before I kind of get into the character gaming animation side. So I took this course, and how the course was set up, it was in person, and there was about 5 to 6 people in our class and one teacher. It was a very small room. We would just have chairs and we would sit down, and on the other side of the room there was a booth in which we would record our voiceovers for. Every class was a little bit different, but for the most part, we would get scripts of different commercials, and we would take like 5 minutes to 10 minutes at a time to leave the class, practice, come in and actually record. And the teacher would critique us. He would tell us what could be better, what could be tweaked, what we did good at, and then we would go back and try to take his notes and criticism and record it again better. It was actually pretty nerve-wracking because it was my first time in a real booth trying to do voice acting instead of just being in my house using my phone, and it's around other people that are also trying. And some people were like amazing off the gets. Some people, they had to take their time to get a little bit more comfortable. But honestly, I recommend if you're gonna do a class, no matter how nervous or intimidated you feel, you're paying money for this, so just do your best. No one's gonna care but you, honestly. Everyone's there just trying to get better, and don't think about anyone else except for yourself. I know that sounds selfish, but don't think about anyone else besides yourself, because if you truly wanna do this, just go in with an open mind and open to make mistakes. Everything that you think will go wrong, but at the end of the day, you get more and more comfortable in that environment, which makes it easier for you to move forward and get better. It helped me with like certain nuances and how to say words, or different inflections in your voice, whether to go up on a word or go down, which words you want to emphasize, how to break down a script for you, and different ways you can say different things to invoke different emotions. So that was cool. It was a good class. After that, I was kind of at a loss. I didn't know what to do. To be honest, I was like, okay, I took a class, now what? So what I did personally was I reached out to different voice actors, honestly, and I just asked them for advice. But I pretty much was just like, hey, I really want to get into this world. Is there any advice you can give, or what would you say should be my next steps? A lot of people told me to take a class. You can never take enough classes, but I was like, dang, I did that. Maybe I should take another one. But one person did recommend this one, I don't know if it was like bi-weekly or monthly event kind of get together thing. I forgot the name. I'll try to figure it out, but it was this event where you would go, they would bring different agents from different agencies, like major voice acting agencies or acting agencies, but specifically the voice acting sector. And you would come in and they would lay out a whole bunch of scripts on the table. Like, I'm talking lots of scripts. You would pick like 1 or 2, and you would write your name on a time slot, and you would wait and go outside and practice, or practice inside the building. When your time came, you would go in the booth, the agent would be on the other side, and you would read and record for the agency. And they would tell you, again, like in class, they would tell you what you did right, what you did wrong. It's not auditioning, it's pretty much just like practice. So you're able to get better because the agents are the ones that are, sending their clients out on these auditions, so they kind of know what they do know what the client wants. What am I talking about? They know what the client wants, they know what is competitive, so it just helps you become a little bit more competitive in voice acting. That was also very nerve-wracking because I was like, oh, okay, now I'm actually like doing this in front of an agent. She knows if I'm about to be good or bad. What if she crushes my dreams? She didn't crush my dreams. She said I actually did pretty decent. I don't know, I think it was a step in the right direction. After that, I was like, okay, now what? Then my friend who actually is in voice acting told me they're gonna take another class on voice acting. He told me this one was intense and it was more character based. So I'm like, okay, that probably makes sense for me to take this. I decided to again save up money and take another class. This one was a little bit more intermediate. My first class I took was definitely very, very beginner, and a lot of the people that were taking the class kind of were already seasoned in voice acting. Not everyone, I don't think. It seemed like everyone though. They were just good off the bat. They came in with auditions from their agents already and they just were trying that out. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? The teacher gave us a huge workbook. It wasn't a workbook, we just had to print out pages of a lot of scripts, and each class we would have to come in and work on 2 different scripts with 2 different characters, and you come in and when it's your turn, you go in the booth again in front of everybody. The window is clear. They can see you and record your character. This class more so pushed on acting, which I really appreciated. It really kind of went to the limits of like how far you can go with the character, when should you pull back. Like I said, the first class was more fundamentals. This was just like, all right, can you act? The class kind of ended abruptly because of COVID, so we weren't able to meet in person anymore. I have to say that I'm blessed to have a friend named Zito. They're a really great voice actor. And again, I didn't know what I was doing next. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I think I'm ready to do a real demo reel. So he recommended me to a friend that helped him do his demo reel, and she just did a lot of audio engineering. And it wasn't the most expensive and it also wasn't the least expensive. It was like mid. Like demo reels can get really pricey if you really want some major quality, but I still wasn't on the top of my game. I'm still not on the top of my game. So I didn't want to spend too much money, but I did want to invest in this career. So I wanted something that would be good enough to send out to people. So I started working on my demo reel. What I did to kind of prepare for this is I looked at a lot of people's demo reels. That's it. I went to YouTube. I found voice actors on Twitter and Instagram and went to their website and kind of listened to what they did for their demo reel. I also went to different agency websites and looked at their list of the people they represent and listen to a whole bunch of demo reels just to kind of see the type of versatility they have, how many characters they would put in it, what kind of lines or dialogue they would have, just to kind of get a grasp. I think you can like hire someone to like write your script and do all that stuff, but like I was already paying some money to get it recorded. I decided that I was gonna write and do the demo reel myself and then go and record it with the girl. Yeah, I just sat down for like maybe a week or 2 and kind of tested out what kind of voices I wanted to add, thought about what kind of characters I would want to play, how can I make my characters unique enough where it's not like the basic. I wanted to make sure like I had different scenarios, so like I wanted to have like a fighting scene. I wanted to have, what if I was like in Call of Duty, what would that sound like? And I just got to writing. Zeno also helped me a lot, and my friend Zito also helped me a lot. They helped me kind of fine tune my scripts so they were very concise. I guess I can insert some of my voice acting demo reel.
I guess that wasn't enough for you, huh? Want some dessert? How about a slice of pound cake? Huh?
Welcome to Slow Burger. That'll be $12.99, sir. I'll be right back with your order once I stick my head in the oven.
You guys always think you can bully me, but I'm the toughest kid there is. So go pick on someone your own size.
Commander, it's a trap. They blown out our entire unit. I've only got 2 bullets left, but I'm trying to get the hostage back to the LV.
Looking back now, because I did a little bit ago, I definitely have grown and gotten better, but I'm proud for what it was and what it is and what I still use. But I definitely do want to upgrade a little bit because I think I've gotten a little bit more seasoned. There's some salt on this dish. Cajun seasoning too. We went into the girl stew and my friends Zito and Zeno helped me a lot. They helped direct me throughout the entire process. What was kind of weak on my end, what voices should I get rid of, who should I keep, maybe is there someone stronger I could add, what order placement I should put my characters so it is more like a journey as opposed to kind of stagnant. You think about all these things when putting together a demo reel, which was mind-blowing to me because I don't know why it seems straightforward, but I learned a lot through that process. So after that, I had a demo reel. I done took 2 classes. That's not even a lot of classes. You can always get better, but I already took 2 classes. Now what? I didn't know still what to do next. So I reached out to Zeno, bless his heart. I reached out to some of the voice acting people, let them know like, hey man, I got my demo reel, so you know, keep me in mind. Thankfully, like 1 or 2 people started slowly sending me some auditions. It wasn't like I was getting like tons of auditions every day, but I just kind of looked at it as practice. I started getting a couple here and there and then trying to record at my house. Oh, also I did invest in getting an AT2020 mic and a Scarlett 2i2. It's not the craziest setup, but it does work right now for me being kind of a beginner. It's a pretty solid mic and interface, and I would just edit in GarageBand because it came on my Mac and it was free, but I know that a lot of people use Audacity, which is also free. So I recorded at home in my closet. I'm on the floor, had my laptop trying to figure out how to record these things, and I slowly and surely got better. And I didn't get anything for a while, so I started getting very, very distraught. I started trying to get on like Fiverr and all those other kind of freelancing sites where you are able to pitch yourself, because I did have a demo reel at this point, so I was able to kind of start sending it out. Don't send out unsolicited emails, but if they ask for it, at least you got it. I was just putting it out into the universe, and I finally got an audition for The Sims at one point. I don't know, I tried it out. It was for a character, Patina. I didn't hear back for like 1 to 2 weeks, so I thought, okay, I definitely didn't get this, but I got the call and I finally got my first role.
As a decorator, a passion for design is a must, but it really comes down to the people you're designing for.
I finally got my first role and I was like, for real? You like that? You like that? Oh my God, oh my God. I was freaking out. So it was my first time actually going into the studio, getting paid for my time there, and being with an engineer, have like the Sims people that were in charge of this sector of the game and commercial. They were there on Zoom, they were looking at me and directing me, and it was very different because I didn't know this is how they did voice acting. Maybe this is why this video will exist, so you can kind of get an idea. A lot of times when I did my auditions, I would just run through the whole thing and then keep doing it again until I get one that's good. When I recorded for The Sims and like for some other stuff, can't tell you because it's not out yet, but be prepared. I am voices for other things now.
Then there was Lindsay. She got cut after our first check-in. That was a rough one.
But when I did do it for The Sims, they would have me ABC each line. And what that means is I would read each line 3 different ways. I'm not gonna do it for real, but it'll be like, the popcorn is popping. The popcorn is popping. The popcorn is popping. You know what I mean? You would ABC each line so they had different variations, and then they would tell you if they wanted you to go back and punch harder on certain words or emphasize certain words, or if they want you to try it again in a different variation. So that was really cool. And then that's kind of, I think when the ball started rolling, that was announced that I was the voice actor for Patina. I started getting a little bit more auditions. People recognized that, okay, she's trying to voice act. She has done something. She has proven she is able to do it. Even if it's not like the very best, she is able to. And I got booked for a few more things. I'm still auditioning. And so far, that has been my journey. Overall, some advice I'd give is definitely take a class when you can or save up. It's really, really, really helpful. However, if you aren't able to afford that at the moment, another thing I would suggest is get a group of friends, pick a book or a webtoon or a comic, or pick something to read and give each person a character to play and voice those characters in a round table. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. It could be 3 friends, it could be 2 friends going back and forth, and you change up your voices, but that can help you kind of get in the mode and record it. Play it back, and you'll be able to hear, at least I think you will, you'll be able to hear, oh, I could have done that better. Oh, that sounded kind of flat. Oh, I wish I was more excited here. And you'll start to recognize what you naturally do and what you can get better at. So that's like a free way to do it, even if it's something that you do virtually and you can't be around people. Come on, there's Discord. Join my Discord, baby. Next thing I'd say is like, don't disregard books. I do have the Voice Acting for Dummies book. I also have a few just acting books because I think just learning more about the craft of acting will help you in this realm. Yes, and the last tip I would give is just keep going. Please just keep going. It's gonna take some time, but be creative on how you figure out how to get into this world, whether it's you know, doing it yourself and making your own animations on YouTube and acting it, or you're going the traditional route and you reach out to agencies and try to get a demo reel. You should get a demo reel though, definitely get a demo reel. Whether it's making projects with your friends and putting that out in your own community or online or on Instagram or Twitter, there are so many ways to kind of dive in, but as long as you keep going and try to figure out creative ways to kind of put your foot in the door, I believe in you. Okay, that's it. Thank you for stopping by. I love you. If that's too forward, then you don't know true love. Bye.